to another video. So I said I won't be here till February, whatever, on my YouTube channel. But I changed my mind, and it's because of the Baum BOGGART. So if you don't know the story about the Baum BOGGART, I'm going to show you a video in a minute. So I'll give you a quick briefing really before I show you the video. Before the Baum was there was supposed to be a field where they used to pick something called white mint. Now, I don't know if it was white mint or not. It could have been something else, and they just called it white mint. It's not like the white mint we know now. Obviously, back in the day, things would have been a lot different. So the story goes, you'll see it in a minute anyway. The story goes, obviously they used to pick this white mint, but before this area there was a foul murder or something. And as the story gets told, there's supposed to be a dark entity that moves from grave to grave at St Mary's Place. But there's no graves there now, so I don't actually know where the graves are. So I'm unsure about that. So modern day society has left me with a real challenge on how to tell this tale. I'm going to show you some footage from when I went on a 1% moon, just to have a little snoop around. I'm not trying to do an investigation. I'm just trying to see if it's got potential and to see if any of this is true or not true. Yeah, it's a really interesting place because I've been here before. I didn't know about the tale of the Baum BOGGART when I was doing Ghosts of Rochdale. If you don't know Ghosts of Rochdale, it's basically where that's first started my channel and was walking around all of Rochdale because I knew about Rochdale's history. I knew it was in a Doomsday book, and I knew it had so much activity which would evil. Really, it's where people get murdered, raped, stabbed. There's been all kinds of activity throughout time. I don't want to go into the specifics and start going into it too much because I don't want to come away from what the point I'm trying to make in this video. So obviously we went to the Baum. I seem to get these captures by the doorway, so I don't know if these captures are genuine or not, or whether it's part of the structure of the door. It looks like it's a capture, but I'm going to see if we can maybe want to see if we get a better plan in place for the full moon do, and that's basically where you see the Baum BOGGART, and it's supposed to manifest, and just police people seeing it or stuff like that. I think it's personally far-fetched. However, who am I to make some kind of judgment when I've only been twice, and the first time I went looking for the Baum BOGGART, and the second time I went on a 1% moon. Well, the tale says it's a full moon, but what the chances of seeing a rabbit on Toad Lane in Rochdale in the town centre near the Seven Sisters? Well, if you've seen a rabbit, in that area, what do you want? If you come for a little video, anyway, yeah. So if you come to, I forget what I'm saying now, it can't put me off. Right, anyway, so if you see a white rabbit on Toad Lane, you'd be like, what? A white rabbit? So the shopping centre now, which is, what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's basically where you walk in. Is it the Exchange or something like that? So it's more or less where the Exchange used to be. That's supposed to be the field, I think. So the Exchange is obviously built on top of that. So that must have been part of the field. It's hard to tell really because Rochdale's got an old castle. We'll be doing this later on in the future where I'll go to the old castle of Rochdale and we'll see what we can gather. So I'm trying to understand timelines of Rochdale, what came first. We're going to go to the church as well as I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you a tale about this church. I think it was there since William the Conqueror or something, because he put it there or something like that. But I'll tell you that on another video, you know what I mean? I don't want to start getting digressing and moving away from the point that I'm trying to make. So, when the castle was there was like a turnpike road, and it's Manchester Road now. It's just a little bit different because it's more modernised. So that must have been there first, and then they must have had this field or whatever. It's hard for me to tell because I'm not a historian, so there's a lot of gaps with the information that I've got and some of the things that I've been told and what Teresa's trying to tell me as well. So it's rather hard, but we'll know more on a full moon. But personally, I think this will take more than one trip on a full moon to see this Baum BOGGART, to see if it exists or not. Now, can you imagine if we captured a white rabbit on Toad Lane? I think that would shut down these trolls, basically, that all they've got is one trick pony. It's just laughing emojis, which I find hilarious. because you know they're just hiding behind something that's got no beliefs, and it's because they're scared. But anyway, besides that, I think it would be awesome if we seen it. It might not be true, and that's also something that we need to think about realistically. So, with all this being said, and I've spoke briefly for 5 minutes to tell you, I'm going to tell you the tale that if you've not seen it already, and then I'm going to show you some video of me being the first time there, where you can see what happened on the first time. There's just some quick TikTok videos I put together as we try to get to the point of this Baum BOGGART. So I just wanted to throw this Baum BOGGART out there to see if it exists or not. Who knows? Who knows? You know, I don't personally think that it's real, but what kind of attitude is that for me to try and make some kind of judgment when I've not even been on a full moon yet? So I do think it's far-fetched, by the way. However, it could be true. Now, I'm more interested in the this entity that likes to jump from grave to grave or something. Well, I don't know where to start with that, because like I mentioned, I don't know where the graves are in St Mary's, but that's a 19th century church that I'm going to show you in a minute. So, as I've said all this, I'm going to hit you some video now and give you the tale. I'm going to put something in order so I can try and paint some kind of picture for you, so you know what's coming when the next content comes out for the Baum BOGGART. This channel really struggles with my views recently, and my TikTok is running rings around my YouTube channel at the minute. So I'm trying to. This is where all the information lies. Where basically you get all the information that I've got. TikTok's just about speed and efficiency, where YouTube's it's more methodical and I can explain things more, because you know people like to watch things a little bit more in depth, don't they? Well, anyway, all that being said, I'll show you the video. I'll explain the tale to you. And hopefully we can get some evidence with the book in the future, and maybe we'll get a white rabbit. You just never know. Follow the white rabbit, eh? We'll see you soon. I'll show you this video anyway, and then tell me what you think. It's actually a 17th century church, not a 19th century church like I stated before. And the person that told this tale was someone called H. Kershaw, I think it was. I'll have to check the first initial. He's an MB holder. I'm also an MB holder, so MB holders don't really lie, and this is what's interesting about this tale. The first St Mary's Church on present-day Cheetham Street was erected in the year 1741 and was duly consecrated in 1744, and presumably the old burial ground behind the church came into being. The ground which the first church had previously for generations. So this church previously there was a field where the locals would gather herbs for medical reasons. Among the herbs was something they called white mint. So they could only get the white mint in this particular area. There was nowhere else you could get it. So the white mint was used to make healing salve, or they called it balm. Or another term that was used was balm field, or the balm field. So up until the 19th century this area was called St Mary's, and this was always referred to as a balm chapel. Up until the 19th century there was a lot of folklore about the spectral balm rabbit, which on moonlight nights can be seen. It can be seen whisking and leaping around the tombstones of the burial ground. This white rabbit was quite harmless, but no one was ever known to approach it, and this was despite air rifles and shotguns being aimed at it. It simply just disappeared, only to be seen again moments later in a different position. The white rabbit was never accounted for. In more recent times, another Baum BOGGART has been seen on moonlight nights, wandering around the ancient burial ground of the Baum. So the present Vicar of St Mary's vouches for this, although he has not seen it for himself. Several local policemen on their night patrols have reportedly seen a spectre of an aged, attired man in the fashion of the 17th century. This man likes to wander from one grave to another. Ultimately the figure disappeared through a brick wall where the old marketplace used to be. This set the boundary from where the marketplace was once. So the marketplace was recently destroyed to make way for a new marketplace between Yorkshire Street and Toad Lane. Funny enough, ancient records speak of a foul murder on these grounds, but this murder was before St Mary's Church, or the burial ground. But one still wonders if the ghost of the ancient man are connected to this previous activity. But hopefully we'll find out soon. There's someone coughing. So we're just having a little look around on a full moon. This is supposed to be, so it's a new moon tonight, so I'm not expecting anything really. So let's just listen. Let's have a little listen. Can you hear him on his frequency? No. Do I come and choose some more words? If that was you by the door. It was as well. There's magnetism right in front of me.
Run.
Run.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Are you? Are you from here? Did you look for the white men?
Keep going.
Keep going. Do you know the Baum BOGGART? Who's in the White Rabbit? Is the White Rabbit true? So the first time it did have potential, because I just edited that down. I was getting someone was shot, I was getting captures, and also it was a bit broken, but it's hard to say on a 1% moon phase. So I think the book will be able to tell us more. So we'll see what happens. It will be interesting if there's some kind of white rabbit, but I think there's activity anyway because it's such an old part of Rochdale. Anyway, this last picture is the church. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you soon more on this.